one of these accounts that I followed that more than anything else, I think anybody else, any other private organization that I've seen that really focused so much on that. And there was a tweet that was last week that I saw, and they said, here's a big need. There are a lot of veterans that need assistance, and some of them, they'll say, like, this veteran has 2 minors at home, one last push since going back to work, and that is to catch up on utilities. $800 if we can do this, and he will no longer be under the threat of sinking financially or disconnection. And just makes it so unbelievably, they make it easy to pitch in. And by they, I mean Gretchen Smith. I think this is a one-woman army. Codavets.com and the Twitter account is operated by Gretchen Smith. And just to read this mission statement that they have, we're bringing awareness and seeking practical solutions to the daily struggles and issues of our veteran community. Our mission is to take care of our own, one veteran at a time. And they're all about just coalescing that base. And she says to be a powerful voice speaking for the rights of veterans with dignity and respect. And Gretchen joins me via Skype today. Gretchen, God bless you for what you do. And thank you so much for just so consistently and devotedly bringing to our very harried, always pulled into different directions, our attention spans, constantly and consistent, just very genuinely putting this back up in priority, back up where it needs to be. And you've been so focused on that, and you're just a blessing to so many. So thank you so much for what you do. And how did you get started? I know you were inspired by your dad.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dana, for having me on the show. My dad is the inspiration. We battled with my dad for so many years. He had such a chaotic life when he came back from Vietnam. Never did really get the help that he needed. And I ended up losing my dad to his battle with PTSD back in 2005. And some of the words that Dad and I had exchanged just seared my soul. And I knew I needed to do something for him. And after I raised my kids and I had this time on my hands, I decided to create a legacy for Dad. His service mattered. His life mattered. And I'm missing. So I started a Twitter page and I called it Code of Vets. And it is genuine and it's from the heart. And I'm out there every day talking about veterans, sharing veterans who are in distress, who are in crisis, who need a hand up, not a hand out. And it has been incredibly successful, Dana. And I truly believe it is because we are so transparent, and it's a heart mission. It's just one veteran helping as many veterans as possible.
Yeah, I love it. I know few women like you in my life. I have another friend that you remind me of who is very take charge. And just does it. I love, and by the way, when Gretchen says she's transparent, I went to the website and I'm like, oh, here's an about section. And I went there thinking it was going to be some, flourishy, this is our history. No, here's her financials. Where's your money goes. Here it is in black and white. Here's their accountant. Here are their contacts. Call everybody and fact check them. I mean, you just want to get that out of the way so you can get help to the people who need it.
Right. Yeah. We just put our financials out there for everybody to see it. Again, I want our donors to be a part of this platform and to know where their hard earned dollars are going. We truly are grassroots, $5, $10, $15, $20. And we've raised, Dana, $2 million in 2 years with a 2% operating cost. I'm so darn proud of that.
So when are you going to take over Department of Treasury?
Oh my gosh.
That's the next.
I'm telling you.
Dang, 2% operating budget. That's amazing. And
We're hardcore.
And I love the way that you put it out. It's very, and I love how you also said it's a hand up, not a handout, because every single person, there are no exceptions, myself included. Everybody has gone through tough times. Everybody. I don't know anybody, especially right now, who has not been touched by difficulty because of everything that's been happening. And, you say, here's a veteran, hardworking single mom trying to get back to full-time work. And some of the, it's like utility needs, or mostly what I've seen is utility needs, or just, here's some bills, or, a gas bill. You had a big one that you put out that it's Homeport in Macon, Georgia, transitional housing, 32 homeless veterans, 4 children. And, when you go and you look at some of the needs, this one had an Amazon wish list. I mean, just like socks and sweatpants and, undergarments, things like that, ramen noodles and, ham. It is very basic items. I
Right.
mean, boy, you get humbled quick and you realize what a privilege it is to serve people who served you.
Absolutely. It's such an honor to be out here doing this every day throughout the country. And we just want to give that opportunity for Americans to give back to our warriors, to the ones who've worn those dog tags and served us overseas and been in combat.
Yes.
They struggle. And it is a pride thing. And I'm glad you brought that up. It's in a point for us. It's important for us to note that it's hard for some of these men and women to step up and say, Gretchen, I need help. But you know what? I think we're doing it in such a respectful and honorable way that we make them feel comfortable. We're taking care of our own, and that's how I present it, and that's how I feel about it. And my partner, Dr. Cindy Walter, does such a phenomenal job behind the scenes with coordinating all of the case management. This really is a team effort, and we are assisting veterans nationwide. But to be able to put this out on, and we use Twitter as our primary means of getting the help for these veterans, and it's just I think we've stumbled across something that is needed, and it's a niche that nobody's filled, and Code of Vets has just exploded.
Yeah. And again, you're just so transparent about it as well, because it's, y'all don't have no big fancy galas or anything like that. It goes right
No,
to these folks. How, and you,
right?
you, you talked about, some of the people who help with the cases. How do you find out who to help, or do they contact you? How does that work?
Yeah, well, our name out there is out there to the point where we have vets who go to our website and fill out a vet need form, and then that vet need form goes to my partner. She vets the veterans. She's been assisting veterans. She's been an advocate since 2004, and she does a phenomenal job with sifting through the vets and just making sure their stories are accurate and their need is real. And once she has given them the step of approval, oh my gosh, the woman's a fire, she's a firestorm on her own. She sends them to me, and then it's my job to tell their story, to put it out there, and to raise the funds. And it works. It's just something that we found that we both have a passion for. Neither one of us get a paycheck. Our paycheck is by assisting that vet and saying, this is for you, brother. This is for you, sister. Go on with life and keep doing what you're doing. Keep pushing forward. And we've got your back. And we monitor some of our veterans for a period of time to make sure that they're stable, especially if they're homeless. But I'm telling you, it's just amazing how effective that we can be when we work as a team.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I can't even imagine how many veterans at this point you've helped. Do you have a count? Do you know how many that you've been able to reach?
Well, we touched thousands of veterans' lives, and I do know we've had 3,000 veterans apply for assistance this year alone,
Oh,
and we've financially assisted a little 1,200. And roughly, we try to keep it around the $1,000 mark. Sometimes it's a little more, sometimes a little less, depending on the need. And that includes spouses and children, and we do VA benefits behind the scenes to make sure they're getting what they've earned. And so that takes a lot of our time. We do the wish list. There's so many different things. We do funeral expenses for indigent veterans families or for unclaimed veterans. We have funeral home directors who follow us now in Code of Vets. It's heartbreaking. It's very tough to manage those cases, but we do it with honor. It's such a sacred mission when you take on an unclaimed veteran who was found laying in their apartment 3 or 4 weeks or 3 months because there's no family involved. And you know what, Dana, we're family. And so we step forward and we will claim that brother or sister and do what we need to do to make sure there's a proper burial.
oh, God love you. God love you. And amen for that. I'm so happy that you're there doing what you're doing. And how can people help? And I always say, you know what? Never be afraid to ask for the moon. How can people help?
Oh my gosh. If you are not on Twitter, I'm telling you, the Code of Vets Twitter account should be enough motivation to get on there, follow us, retweet, circulate those missions, get them out there, and let's touch as many veterans' lives as we can. We need you out there, digital soldiers, pushing out the mission, growing it. That's how we get the job done. You wouldn't believe how powerful those retweets are. The donations are great, but just sharing the mission is vital to our success.
Absolutely. That website is codeofvets.com, on Twitter at Code of Vets. And I'm going to put this out in the newsletter too, that we'll be sending out, and we'll put it up online, because every day there are needs that it would be, I know, a privilege for all of us out there to be able to, to fill and serve. I mean, for people who have done so much for us, it's the least that we can do. Gretchen, God love you. You and your whole team. Good heavens. Just salt of the earth people. I can't say enough nice things about you. So I appreciate what you do.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless.